Okay, probably about time to get this show on the road. Do a little building for a couple hours or something like that. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo. Cool. Oh, I guess it would help if I turned on the stream part. Well, we're back here again, and we're going to do a little more building, some just kind of minor stuff, and my alarm is going off. That's excellent, telling me that it's time to stream. Good thing that went off. I would have never known otherwise. But yeah, so we're right now we're hanging out on top of this. Let's see if I can get a good view. This big building here. This is something new that I don't think it was around for the last time I streamed on Saturday. Pretty sure it's newer than that. But this is kind of a gate into the city. This is an area called the Brass Gate. So it's going to be pretty cool. I like the use of the gold blocks. And I really like the fact that this... the stone texture that I used in here is really interesting. It's got some of the dead coral blocks in it. And I think it does... You know, the coral blocks have like just a little bit of red in them. A little bit of that kind of a, I don't know, kind of a maroony red color. And it goes really well with this really bright, you know, I don't know, magenta colored roof that I've got going with the different kinds of, what is it called? Crimson blocks. And then some of the colored terracottas. I really like the way this is all coming together. The magenta glass in the windows. I'm not 100% sold on the gold blocks yet, but you know, we'll leave them there for now and see how we feel about them in the future, I guess. Also, the black stone is probably going to have to change because that's just, it's a little bit harsh, I think. I think maybe something a little bit more neutral colored. But yeah, this is something I've been working on for a while now. And I'm really happy with the way it's coming out. Obviously, the inside needs some more detail. But as you can see, we've got a little tunnel that leads into our city proper. So this area obviously is also not at all detailed. Just blank smooth stone for right now. But eventually we'll fill that all in. And then once we get out here, we've got the rest of the city. So... there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of empty spaces and a lot of things that we haven't built. But I thought that today I'd just kind of start working on the laundry list of things that need to be done. So one of the things was I noticed that one of the other server members is building these beautiful houses out here on this cliff top. These are really, really cool. But earlier on... she asked me to build her a tree kind of in this central courtyard. So I built this tree. It's supposed to be sort of an olive tree. You know, I'm not, you know, like a professional botanist or anything, or I don't know anything about trees. But I thought that, you know, from looking at pictures on the internet, this looks sort of like an olive tree. It seems to me that, I don't know, the pictures I've seen of olive trees, they tend to be sort of, have a thicker trunk and these sort of vertical branches that kind of reach upwards, and then they have leaves kind of on the sides, but they seem to be sort of I don't know, instead of spreading out wide, they kind of tend to go up, but also be kind of squat. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. If anyone has an olive tree and they have some opinions about that, maybe you could let me know, and we'll revise our olive trees. But I noticed walking around the other day that there's another spot where we can put another olive tree. So I thought maybe we'd try some of that. I like building trees. You know, it's a fun thing to do. It's never a bad time to build a tree. I enjoy doing it. So we'll see what we can come up with here. Hopefully it'll come out fairly nice. You know, this is a really beautiful, beautiful area that's getting built up here. And I would really, really like to make sure that, you know, everything stays looking nice. I mean, look at some of these buildings. They are just right there on the cliff edge. This one's got like glass walls. Super, super cool. So hopefully we can do that some justice. Let's see. So let's place a few blocks. I think that you know, in general, I just want to make sure that this tree feels fairly thick trunked. You know, I want it to feel like it's had some room to spread out a little more than. Ooh, my music is really loud. Let me alter that. That is just, that's a little bit, I don't know. It's a little bit off-putting. Caught me by surprise. I normally don't have the music on. I forget why I turned it on. I was trying to listen to something, so I turned on the music, and that was, yeah, maybe a mistake. I don't know. Let's see. So I'd like to try to establish this tree, you know, to have sort of a, I don't know, a thicker body, I think. Something that's just feels a little more sturdy than one block. So we'll see if we can accomplish that. That's looking a little bit weird. Let's try kind of like maybe something like this. Yeah, that feels a little bit wide. I think what we can do is we can maybe, you know, stick a few stairs in here like this that really help it spread out a little bit. You know, we can do like this to make it look like we got roots that are coming down. Maybe even replace that like that. That's not bad. That looks kind of nice. Yeah, I want to make it feel like the tree is solidly rooted in the ground. Let's see. I think we just need... Yeah. Look at that. That actually looks pretty good, I think. It's a good start anyway. You know, we can have, maybe the tree is growing kind of through this stone wall here at the bottom. So maybe we put a few roots here. You know, we have the roots extend a little bit this way. Just so it looks like it's kind of incorporated. I think that's a good look. Alright, let's go check our other tree. I don't remember exactly what I was doing. Okay, so it's got a few branches, and then they sort of branch off in an upwards direction. So we'll try and do a little bit of that. Let's see. See if we can get a good, kind of a nice shape. Yeah, that's not bad. I think maybe that one might be a little bit tall. Maybe we'll add something under here to kind of fill that in. Add a few of these in here. Just to try and make this, again, I want to try and fill out the outline at least a little bit so that it's nice and thick. That sounded a little bit weird. I apologize if it made anyone feel uncomfortable, because it certainly made me feel uncomfortable. Let's see. Put that. Yeah, so I'm sort of trying to shape some branches so that they point, you know, mostly upwards. You know, I want to have these fence posts that point up at the tips of all these branches. And that'll give it kind of that vertical shape that at least I associate with olive trees. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I think that's probably enough branches. We don't want this tree to be too big. You know, we don't want it to overshadow anything. But I think that's a solid start. Okay. So we're gonna add a few leaves. The way I was doing this is just sort of adding them kind of sparsely around the edges and upwards. Let's see. We'll switch over. We'll put a few of these spruce ones. I like the birch leaves for this kind of tree because they're very... It's hard to tell in this particular, you know, without like shaders and stuff, but they've got kind of an army green color to them sometimes that I think, I don't know, it just feels very Mediterranean. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it's a vibe. Let's see. And I'm just going to try and cover things, you know, loosely with some leaf blocks. Just try and, you know, eke out every little bit of shape I can. Let's see. I think here is a nice place to put some more leaves. We've got one branch back here that doesn't have any yet. Let's see. Maybe kind of like this, huh? How's that looking? That doesn't look too bad. That looks like a tree. And that's, which is good, because this, you know, it is a tree. Let's see. I think we need maybe a few more down here. Maybe something a little bit down there. And I'd like this to be maybe just a little bit taller. Don't want it to be too tall, but I think a little bit of height. Let's try this one. A little bit of height is good. That might be a little bit much. I'm trying to keep it also sort of irregular. I don't want it to be too, you know, uniform. Like, I don't know. It bothers me a little bit that these two blocks are like right next to each other at the same height, but at the same time, you know, I don't know what if it's really that big of a deal. Maybe like this though. It's not bad. I can live with it, I'll be honest. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's not a bad looking tree. Not a bad looking tree at all. So I think that'll do it for this one. You know, nothing super fancy. I just wanted to include a little bit of green. I think it looks really nice next to this path. This path is really nice with the brickwork and everything. I'm assuming eventually we'll do sort of like we've done in other parts of the city, where we replace a few of these brick blocks with granite and polished granite. Looks really nice. There's a panda. How's it going, buddy? You're one of the funny brown pandas. Not usually. It's sort of random. This is only the second stream I've ever done. Also, just there's a 20-second delay or something, so I'm sorry if I'm responding really late to the message, but I'd like to get an established time set up so I can stream regularly, but I'm still trying to sort out exactly how that's gonna work, fit into my schedule and everything. And also, it needs to be something, you know, obviously that I can commit to, and commitment is not necessarily my strongest attribute. So we will do our best. I'm hoping to kind of do, you know, a couple times a week, 2, maybe 3 times, if I think I can manage it, just for an hour, maybe 2 hours. Probably, I think one of the times that I feel pretty good about is kind of one of the weekend days. I want to do just a couple hours in the afternoon. I think that's a good time for me. And then hopefully I'd like to try and do some stuff in the mornings on some of the weekdays when I'm not busy with other life things. So we'll see how all of that works out. But yeah, so last time we did some work on the riverbed. Filled in a lot of this with, you know, aquatic plants and what have you, sea pickles and the like. looks pretty good. I've done a little bit of work on it since then, not a lot, but overall, I think it's looking pretty good. There still remains, we haven't done a whole lot more. You can see over here, there's really nothing else going on. It's just the parts we worked on. There's a sunken boat, but we'll do a little bit of work on that, maybe on this stream, maybe on a future stream. I think today one of the projects I really wanted to do some work on was just finishing up the decoration around the outside of the walls. So we've done a little bit of work. You've seen it in a few of the videos now. If you've seen any of those, we've just done a little bit of decoration just to spruce the walls up, make them look, more or less pretty nice. And to take away, for a while they were just plain quartz, just really, really boring. So we're done a little bit of work to change the shape up a little bit. But as you can see, if we fly over here, there is an entire, half of the city wall that is still really boring and plain. There's also the floating skeleton of a church that MCX was working on over here that at some point we will have to move it somewhere else. I don't quite know where. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out at some point. We'll talk to him. Let's see. Oh, more messages. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's been a while. This it's a pet project of mine. It's been about a year now. We've been working on this. It's just it's coming together really well. I think I wish I'd discovered this earlier on, when you and I were in school and stuff. I mean, Minecraft was around at some point during that period of time, and I honestly kind of wish that I discovered it earlier than last year, but what are you going to do? In terms of reference models, generally not. Sometimes I'll go on Pinterest or something and look up fantasy buildings and stare at those for a while. But for the most part, the things that I've been building have just kind of been out of my head. I don't know, for better or for worse, I think on some level it does help me avoid, even unintentional plagiarism, because that's definitely, if you're staring at reference images, it's all too easy to kind of copy what you see. Also because I'm a little bit lazy, and yeah, no, I mean that's definitely a significant portion of it. I gotta be honest there. But let's see. Let's fill in some of this a little bit. Yeah, so I think I'd like to continue a little bit of work on the walls. We can, just kind of, I don't know, something chill. I don't want to do anything super exciting right now. I don't really want to do anything that requires a huge amount of thinking. I think tonight would be just a good time just to chill and fill in some of the minor stuff. So let's see. Let's see where we ended up with the pattern. So we've got this little pattern going on where we have these tall columns that go all the way from the bottom to the top with the, they get a little thicker at the bottom. And then we have these short little crenellations that just kind of poke down a couple blocks. So I think we'll continue that pattern a little bit. I guess the first step here is just to add this prismarine stripe around the top of the wall. So we'll go ahead and do some of that. I know that that's exactly what everyone wants to watch me do for 2 hours, is place stairs, but it's an important part of the process. It's not always the most exciting thing. I think that that's something that tends to get lost, especially in a lot of the things I've seen on the internet with Minecraft. You know, you've got a lot of these big names, and I don't fault them for it, but you do have a lot of people who tend to just ignore the tedious man hours that go into putting these, you know, these big things together, and they skip just to the juicy parts, which, you know, from a content creation standpoint is great. But it also, I think it gets people's, I don't know, it messes with people's perception. And I think that a lot of people get discouraged when they can't build, you know, some giant crazy castle, you know, in a matter of a couple of days or whatever. You know, when in fact, you know, some of these big builds take weeks and weeks of planning to get, you know, put together, and even then, you know, it takes even more work to get them exactly the way you want them to look. So it's definitely by no means, you know, an easy process all the time. Sometimes it is, but I think that sometimes it's a little misleading, maybe. But yeah, you know, end of rant. It is what it is. But I'm hoping, you know, I mean, I've seen a lot of other channels that do stuff like this too, but I think it's good to, you know, for there to be representation of the fact that there's a lot of effort that goes into a lot of this stuff, even if it's not, you know, thought intensive, I guess. Is a lot of just boring repetition. Even more so if you're doing in like survival mode or something like that. I can't imagine what it would be like to not be able to fly and to try and build something like this. That just, no, that does not sound like fun. I'm clumsy enough as it is, even in creative mode. When I can't die, it would take me years to complete anything if it were the case that I could fall out of the sky and just instantly die and lose all my stuff. So maybe someday I'll attempt something in survival, but for now, I'm just taking the easy way out. Creative mode all the way. Alright. Shadows are getting a little bit annoying. Let's turn on our night vision. Night vision. There we go. A little bit better. One of the sort of few unfortunate things about having this giant tree here is that it's so big that it completely blocks out almost all of the light. Makes it very hard to see anything when you're underneath it. We had some really big issues with that for a little while just because the shadows were just so dense. Eventually, the solution we came up with was just many lanterns, as you can see here. And then I forget who it was. Someone came up with this idea, and it's not a new idea. Other people have been doing it for a long time, but these mushrooms with the end rod stems, they provide a lot of light, and they look nice too. So can't remember where we found that, but it was a great idea. It keeps everything well lit underneath the tree. But over here, we don't have lights yet. Not enough lights anyway. Part of the reason I want to add this wall, the decoration anyway on the wall, is that because part of the decoration is in fact lights along the top of the wall. I think that'll do wonders to keep everything well illuminated and looking good. Because what's the good of having all this beautiful stuff if you can't see any of it? But, yeah. It is relaxing. You know, and honestly, these streams give me a good opportunity to get some of this stuff done that, you know, most of the time I log on and I'm like, oh, there's all this huge laundry list of things that I need to accomplish, and I never want to do any of it. You know, don't get me wrong, I like building, but I don't know. Once you've built walls for 5 or 6 hours, you don't really want to build it for another 5 or 6 hours, I found. But has to get done by someone at some point. So here we are. But at least I get to hang out with people while I do it. And yeah, I have to say, streaming is, I don't know, it's fun. I wasn't sure if I would enjoy doing it. It's something that people have brought up before. At the time, it seemed really stressful, just, being in front of a live audience. I am not a particularly outgoing person by nature. I am not, the one to grandstand and get up in front of crowds and stuff. Not really my thing. So I was kind of a little bit nervous starting out that this would be a huge, a huge drain on my social battery, I guess, so to speak. That it would just be something that I was anxious about and stressed about. But it turns out that it's actually, fairly chill, because a lot of what I'm doing on stream is the same stuff I'm doing when I'm not on stream. It's just now people can watch me do it. Hopefully I don't do anything terribly embarrassing. Last week we had an incident. I was trying to fill up the river. I accidentally filled up the entire city with water instead of just the river. That was a problem. So I'm glad, hopefully I don't do anything like that, because I was panicking when everything was filled with water, and it was just not my proudest moment. So we don't talk about that incident too much. At least I don't. Everyone else likes to make fun of me for it. We've had a few big disasters here on the server. Just a couple. Nothing too bad for the most part. We have been saved by the fact that that the server automatically backs itself up fairly regularly. So a lot of the time, if you make a big mistake, I can go back into the server, settings and revert the problem before it becomes too much of an issue. But, that's not always possible. Sometimes people have been doing a lot of work, things like that. And it's just, it doesn't make sense to revert things, which is unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and fill this wall in. Anytime there's a gap that's just 2 blocks wide, you can't really put these stairs in it without it looking weird, so I generally tend to just fill these in. Let's see. I have no idea how tall this wall is here. We're just going to go down 40. We'll guesstimate. Oh, that's right. 40 down. Minus A. Something like that. Yeah, that looks good. But yeah, let's see. Oh man, yeah, I feel that, definitely. Man, the first video I made, well, the very first video I made on this channel, there was no talking. It was just me flying around the city very carefully with the recording software on, and then I put some overly dramatic music behind it. So that was stress-free. But the second video I did was, oh man, I was so nervous, and all it was just me flying around giving a little tour of the city and all that, and it was just, I don't know, I was sweating bullets the entire time. And I didn't really understand, I'm sure with the whole video editing thing, that if you make a mistake, you just pause for a couple seconds, say the line again, and move on with it. But at the time, I didn't really realize that most of the video would end up edited out. You really only pick the choice bits and stitch them together. At least, I don't know. With other types of YouTube content, it's probably more difficult. But in Minecraft, given that your audio and your video are really not that synced up, you never see anyone's lips move. So I can move the audio in relation to the video wherever I want, and it's not a problem. But I did the entire video. It was one solid 3-hour take of me trying to fumble my way through this tour of the city. trying not to make any mistakes while I was doing it. It was just, oh, it was ridiculous. You can definitely tell watching it that it was just, I was really nervous, and it was the first video really of me that's been on the internet where you can hear my voice. I don't know. It was stressful. We'll put it that way. It was stressful, but in the end, you know, it came out okay. You know, and I don't regret it. It was a good learning experience. Let's see. Okay, this is something else that I wanted to look at, because I noticed looking at this the other day that this, I don't know why I thought this was true, but I thought this tower was lined up with the other tower, and it is just really not. You can see that this is the middle line for that tower. This tower's way over here. I don't know how I mean, that's a solid, like, 7-8 block gap between them. I don't know why I thought they were lined up better than that. Maybe they used to be and I moved one of them. I don't remember doing that, though. I feel like I would notice. In any case, it's kind of annoying. And, I mean, I can't really move this tower. It's already been pretty well incorporated into all this stuff over here. You know, it's a pretty permanent fixture. I don't think there's really much I can do with that, but I think this one is not really, it's sort of unattached. I think I can move it around. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing in this corner that I particularly care about. I don't even know what any of these outlines are going to be yet. They're just going to be buildings. I wonder if I can make this a straight line. It'd be really nice if the middle of this tower was lined up with where I want things to be. Let's see. This is this. Be really convenient if that tower was lined up. I think it might be actually too far. So what is that? That gap is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 blocks. What was this one? This one's 7 blocks. So they're really close. So what does that mean? Oh man, you'd think I'd know this. I mean, I went to school for math, for God's sake, but I am. Also, that's weird. I don't know why part of this tower is made out of smooth stone. I'm wondering if that was something that happened on purpose. Doesn't look like it's on purpose, though. It's weird, the things you notice when you, I don't know. This project in general is just getting big to the point where I mean, when I started, it was just me. It was just me building stuff for fun on my own. And I knew where everything was. In the past year, you know, I've recruited some people who were interested in helping out. And I mean, you know, I love them all to death. They do fantastic stuff, and they do stuff that I can never dream of. But, you know, because we have now 5 people building things, I legitimately don't know where a lot of stuff is anymore. There's just so much to keep track of that, you know, I find myself walking around, I'm like, oh, hey, I didn't realize that building even existed, which is wild. But a good thing, you know, a good kind of wild. I don't know how important it is that I replace these ones way back here, but we're going to do it anyway, because this is the internet, and inevitably someone will watch this video later and be upset by the fact that I left stone blocks where I shouldn't have. Yeah, I don't I don't know why these are all smooth stone. I hope that I am not messing something up. You know, someone went all the effort of doing this on purpose. I really don't think that's the case, because these two sides over here are all quartz. And the fact that it's smooth stone makes me suspicious, because I know that I did once convert all of these blocks to smooth stone using commands. It makes me think that maybe part of this tower kind of got caught up in the fray. That would be my guess anyway. Let's see. I mean, I guess if I were really smart, I would just use commands for this as well, but I don't know. If commands got me into this predicament, maybe it's best to not rely on them to get me back out. Plus, it's not that much work. I'm not that lazy. I mean, I definitely am that lazy, but not out loud. I'm glad I noticed this, though. I have sort of a recurring nightmare that, you know, so when I'm finished with this project, my goal is to release the world file for people to just run around in on their own, and explore and all that, you know. And I've got this recurring nightmare that I'm done with the project. I've released the world file, and I go in to do stuff with it, and I realize that there's something just wildly wrong. And I just, you know, I don't know. It's terrifying to me. Let's see. Put buttons. Oh, I gotta watch the chat more. I'd really like to interact more with people in the chat. I don't know. My mind doesn't normally think to focus there. Focusing on our own projects. Most of it's solo, although I think that the reasoning behind that is less because people don't want help on their projects, and more just because there's so many things to work on, that we can all, and the people who are helping me out, we're spread out all across like there's 5 of us, and we're in 5 different time zones. So getting everyone, getting multiple people on at the same time it's chaos anyway. So, collaborative builds, there've been a handful of projects that we've worked on collaboratively. And, there's often, times when someone will say, hey, I'd like some help, with this roof design. I don't know what to do. Can you come take a look and help out? Things like that. And a few of these big projects have been sort of collaborative things. Some of us working together on these things, but for the most part, a lot of it's been fairly solo. I think as we've gotten to know each other better, I did this entire project solo up until August of last year. And then in August, I made my first post I posted a picture of the city on Reddit, and people really liked it. And immediately after, a couple people messaged me and asked if I'd be interested in having some help building, and that's kind of where this whole collaborative thing got started. So as we've gotten to know each other better, we've started to work together more. I am not good at doing the interior stuff in buildings, so like all the interior decor with like the tables and chairs and fireplaces and things like that. Just because Minecraft doesn't have a lot of dedicated furniture items. So for me, the kind of creativity that I have is not the kind where, it's like, oh, hey, look, I made a chair out of a slab and a trapdoor. We've got a few of these here. So this is one of the other server members. They made these benches with slabs and trapdoors, and I would never think to do that. I'm more the kind of person that, hey, what's up? I'm more the kind of person that I would rather there be a block labeled Minecraft chair. But there is no such block. So I don't remember where I was going with this, but So I built this big central hub plaza thing with all the courts and stuff. This is called Centerfall. But I didn't. None of the buildings had anything inside them. They were just big empty rooms. I put doors on them and stuff. That's about it. One of the other server members, Bart, has actually come in and filled in a lot of these areas with little shops and things, which is just super, super cool. Yeah, I don't know how she does it. It's really, really something, you know, and I don't know. It's something I'd like to learn how to do at some point. You know, some of these lots are still empty, but she's done a lot of work. You know, I mean, we can do a little flyby, and you can see that there's restaurants and there's shops and art galleries and just all sorts of really cool things. And the ingenuity behind some of these block ideas, you know, using things as other things, is just really cool. These restaurants up here in this, I don't know, these domes are really, really neat. She's done a great job. You know, these are tables that are just glass blocks with sea pickles on them. And I never in a million years would have thought to use them that way, I guess. So I don't know. That's something I'd like to get better at. So, you know, there's a lot of that kind of collaboration. You know, people just filling in the gaps that other people, you know, aren't that good at, I guess. Me in particular. So that's something that people do, but a lot of it's solo. You know, there's definitely a lot of solo projects. There's whole districts of the city that people are working on independently. Oh man. I'm pretty sure this is just the classic version. I have, you know, this, so it's a server, so it's hosted online. But I don't believe we're using any sort of special modifications to the game. They've had a number of updates since the game, you know, since probably the last time you played. I'm actually surprised that Minecraft has done such a good job of updating frequently. Yeah, it's got some plugins, but the plugins are they're not the content that they add is more for like building. So like we have a plugin called World Edit that lets me use these commands to, you know, to artificially stack blocks in places where, you know, under normal Minecraft vanilla stuff, you know, I can't make this block, you know, duplicate itself. But with the World Edit command, I can say stack 5 up, and I can make 5 blocks appear on top of it. So they're utility plugins like that, but none of it adds like new items to the game that aren't already in the base version of Minecraft. I don't think. Things like that. Actually, Joseph Watts, he's in the chat with you. He's another one of the server members. He goes by MCX, or at least that's what we call him. But he is, yeah, he knows. I don't know. He knows a lot more about that. He's been playing a lot longer than I have. But yeah. Oh, and then MCX, for your edification, this other guy in the chat is actually an old friend from like grade school. We've known each other for a long time. We took a school, I don't know if you remember this. I mean, I remember it, but we took a school trip to Washington D.C. together way back in the day. For what was it? It was the leadership conference or something like that. It was, oh man, that takes me back. That was so long ago. Let's see. Anyway, reminiscing aside. Let's see. All right, I want to move this tower. Not entirely sure where I want to move the tower to yet, but we're going to move it. I think it just needs to move 7 blocks to the left. Pretty sure. I keep forgetting what we decided. Let's see. This is centered. So we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 blocks. Okay. Just so we can line it up. I don't know how much difference it really makes, but it'll make me feel better, so. Oh man, this always gets me though. Moving things around, these big things. Yeah, the leadership conference. That was it. Oh man, that was a long time ago. I don't even know how long ago. It was. When was that? Was that eighth grade or something like that? Do you really? That's wild. Oh man, that takes me back. The only thing I remember about that trip was that I had a really it was like a bunk bed situation kind of thing, and one of the guys that I was bunked with was just really, really annoying, and he wouldn't. I don't know. He was one of those, like, if it were like modern day, he would be one of those kids who just dabs all the time. He was one of those, and he got on my nerves so much. Let's see. Let's put this over here. I think we can just do it this way. Oh, nope. That's wrong. Okay, like that. Oh, yeah, you guys would get along. I don't know. I guess that sounds kind of racist of me to say. But I believe you're both of the same church. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. I don't mean to offend anyone. I don't want that to be a thing, but I don't know. It's something that I thought of in the moment. Let's see. Okay. Grab that. We're going to grab this. Okay, and then this is the hard part. I think so. I don't know much about religion. You know that about me, but I'm pretty sure you guys are both Latter-day Saints and all that, right? Yeah, see? That's the same thing, I think. Unless there's multiple versions of it, I don't know. Oh, whoa, that's a big chunk. That seems problematic. Let's put that back for a second. I know, right? It's a small world. Let's see. See, I knew something about something. Look at me, having knowledge. What a time to be alive. Okay, we're gonna put this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. We got enough space. Let's cut. Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's not too bad. And then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Then we should be able to just say paste -a. That seems problematic. What? You're in Missouri now? That's wild. How's that? I don't know. What's Missouri like? Ooh. This is not lining up the way I thought it would line up. I don't even know how to make it line up the way I want it to line up. We'll put it back here for now. I guess I should cut it when I'm standing right here in front. And then this should not be this difficult. Let's see. So it needs to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need to stand 11 blocks in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I believe if I stand here. Man, I hope this works. Okay. Well, it looks fairly symmetrical. Yeah, and then we can adjust the outer wall. It's never easy. It's always something going on. Where did those come from? Oh, those went on the outside. Okay. Well, that's an easy fix. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. That's pretty cool. I don't really know much about Missouri. I don't know. I mean, I'm never been very good with geography in general, but it's kind of neat. The only thing I remember about Missouri is that in grade school, I went to great efforts to try and memorize how to spell Missouri, because I got it wrong on a spelling test, and for whatever reason I felt really bad about it. So now I know that Missouri is spelled. Oh, see, now I'm not gonna be able to spell it. I think it's Missouri. Pretty sure that's correct, but I could very well be wrong. It's been quite a while. Oh, man. This is very unfortunate. I'm glad I noticed, though, I guess. Better to have to move it than to not worry about it. Let's see. I think actually I can leave the wall for the most part here. I don't see any reason why I need to move the wall anywhere. But what we will do is we'll just fill in this big empty hole in the ground. Pretty sure. Let's see. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that seems right. Just drop down. And we'll go here. 8. Cool. And then I can say also cool. Okay, so that greatly decreases the amount of stuff I have to do. What is that? Oh, that's the remains of the wall. That can stay there. But I am probably going to have to figure out the radius of this wall. Do I? I think I do. Actually, I could probably look over here. Probably just copy it over. I did not look at the chat. I remembered with my big brain. I'm excellent at remembering things that happened in grade school. Just ask anyone. Actually, that actually brings up something else that I totally forgot about. But one of the 5 people who's helping me with this project is actually Tarek. I totally forgot that we all went to school together. That was a long time ago. But yeah, no, Tarek's helping out with this. It's yeah. I'm making this so much more complicated than it has to be. Okay, so we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, something like that. So we got 1, 2, 3. Nope, I forgot what I said. I said that like 10 seconds ago. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 10. Okay. Imagine people tuning into the stream to watch me count. Oh my goodness. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's 10. And then what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Huh. Why is this not lining up the way I want it to? Well, that's upsetting. I don't know what I've done wrong. Maybe this is not lined up. Yeah. Let's follow the line on the ground. Nope, that's lined up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. Oh man, I don't want to have to move it again. That's annoying. Alright. Well, we tried. Let's get on down there and pick it up again. Okay, let's go down to like 20. Tool, cell wand, cell, sill. Okay, now we're gonna fly back up to the top. Oh, that's weird. Huh, that's crazy. Yeah, Odyssey of the Mind was fun. Honestly, I think that's where a lot of this creativity stuff kind of comes from in my life anyway. You know, it's just I don't know. Odyssey of the Mind was a great tool for creative expression, I suppose. Okay. Cut. Paste. Hold on. Paste minus A for error. Okay. We only lost a little bit. Hopefully this all lines up now. Do we want to extend the Discord out to people from the other social medias? I'm not going to do that just yet. Partially because I'm not 100% sure how Discord works outside of just communication between people, because I don't know, I'm out of date with the times. But I'll do some research on it, and maybe we can start kind of a Discord community thing. I know that that's a thing that people do. But I just want to make sure that I understand the process before we do too much with all of that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That also doesn't seem correct. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that starts at a different block too. Oh man, this entire stream is just going to be me repeatedly being unable to do basic functions. It starts on the far part. I mean, he is welcome to come and hang out, you know, whenever, you know, if he wants to. I have no problems with that. But you know, I mean, we'll probably, I don't know. I want to take it slow. I'll talk with you more about it later. We can iron out some of the details then. I think that would probably be the easiest way to do all this. 'Cause yeah, but I mean, yeah, I mean, Addison, if you are at all interested in coming and checking things out, you are obviously more than welcome. Let's lower all of this. Let's see. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Okay. New wall starts here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, look! It lines up! Oh, thank goodness. I was getting a little bit worried. Yeah, that does line up. Hooray. We did something correct. Okay, now we just need to do the outer part of the wall. Just working on the wall. That's the, you know, in the clock yard, we've got this semicircular wall going on. And I noticed that one of these towers, I was working on the actual detailing of the wall, and then I got distracted, as I do. I noticed that this tower was not symmetrical with the tower on that side, which is just, I don't know, it was bugging me. So I decided to try and fix it. And that's going about as well as most of my pursuits go, which is not that well. So we're getting it. It'll just take some time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 2. Let's see, 8 and then 2. Wait, this is the wrong block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and then 2, technically. And we'll actually just probably link that up. Cool. That looks just like the rest of the wall, hopefully. Alright, catch you later, man. It's good to see you. Good chatting with you. Let's see. Okay. Cell. Oh, cuboid. I always forget that word. I think I can just grab this whole thing, just like that. We can say stack. I don't know how tall this wall is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So like, I don't know. Probably like 30 blocks seems appropriate. Minus A. That looks pretty good. Hopefully we're not crashing into anything underground. Okay, we'll do this. That looks good. Okay, okay. We're getting there, we're getting there. Let's stack this part of it down. Wall's a little bit weird, but I think that we can just fill in this block and it'll be A-okay. Man, I'm really glad I noticed that, because that would have been a terrible thing to find out later on. Let's grab that. Yeah, that seems about right. We'll probably just fill in some of this. Yeah, that probably works. Okay, stack it 30 down. Perfect. This looks like it needs a block. It's funny because this is one of those like little changes that probably no one will ever see, but we'll know. That's somehow important, I suppose. Let's see. Yes. Okay, those buildings all look fine. Let's fill in this with smooth stone. Smooth stone. Okay. I think we've done it. Oh, we still have to fill in this. Okay, we've almost done it. Getting there. Let's see. BR, sphere, sand, 5. Mask, air. Try to make that a little bit shorter, perhaps. Let's see. That looks not bad. BR smooth. 4. Mask sand. Just to kind of lower this down a little bit because it's a little bit tall. Give it a little more of a natural shape. There we go, that's much better. Okay, BR sphere. 5. Guess we probably didn't need to mask sand again, but look at that. You can't even tell that it used to be a tower here. Maybe you can tell a little bit because some of these are a little bit off, but overall, it's looking good. Looking good. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I've been doing this for an hour and a half now. That's really wild. Time flies when you're... I don't want to say having fun, because I don't know if this really constitutes fun for anyone involved, but... yeah, you know. Time flies when you're fixing mistakes that you made months ago and never noticed until now. Okay. Oh, I see. So this is going to have to be another one of those instances where we fill this in. Why do I keep getting rid of my flint and steel? There we go. Fill in the wall a little bit there. Go ahead and continue with our wall pattern. Okay. And that's probably pretty good. I don't want to continue this slightly stressful. I think slightly might be a bit of an understatement, but I agree with you there for the most part. I think this pattern, I'm not going to continue it all the way around this circle, because I feel confident that at some point we might change the small wall that goes around the clockyard. Yeah, I'm feeling like that might change. So we'll just bring it up to the wall, no further. We'll save the rest of the wall for a little bit later. For now, there's something I was gonna do. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I want to fix all of this. I wonder if I can just use commands. That seems kind of lazy, but I'm sort of a lazy person, so maybe that's okay. Let's grab that. Grab that. How do I, let's see, replace, that's the one. We're going to replace smooth stone with quartz block. Man, I hope that works. Hey, look at that. That would have taken me several minutes otherwise. And if there's one thing I know about myself, it's that I'm always glad to have my several minutes back. Never one to pass up an opportunity for free several minutes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You say that I've put in a lot more time in the project, which is probably true, but Bart is rapidly catching up. I feel like every single time I look at the Dyn map, she is on there building stuff. It's I mean, you know, it's great. I'm not at all upset or anything about that. That is fantastic news, but it's funny. She does everything by hand too, which is just, I don't know, it's bewildering to me. Because I cannot imagine having the patience to do all of this stuff by hand, like voluntarily. You know, I did a lot of this stuff by hand back when I didn't know any better, but now that I know better, I don't know if I can ever go back. That is 100% true. I guess this is kind of interesting. I never thought about it that way, but for you guys watching the stream, other people who are on the server, I guess it's sort of interesting too, because you get to watch someone else build instead of, instead of having to build build things on by yourself. It's kind of I don't know, it's fun. It's cool to, I imagine, I don't know for sure, but I imagine it's cool to just to see a place that is familiar, but not have to have the stress of, actually doing the construction projects. I have to say the delay is confusing. I keep forgetting that when I say something, you don't hear it for 20 seconds, or I forget what the number we're in on. It's like 18 seconds or something like that, or 20, 25, something like that. Let's see. I have to say, though, now that the hard math is over, this is actually, it's pretty relaxing, just kind of messing around, putting this wall together. You know what else I've realized? I actually need to alter these bridges now that we've changed the pattern on the wall. These don't match up, so... Yeah, I read somewhere that I can alter settings in YouTube to make the delay shorter, but that the quality of video suffers, which makes sense. But so it's it's probably not something that I'm super worried about. But it is interesting to note that the delay does exist. Now, if I could only place blocks correctly, my life would be perfect. Okay. And then these will have to go. Oh, because this is gonna... No. Oh. This is the mistake I keep making. Every time I'm working on the wall with John, I always want to just put the next layer of blocks right on top of here. And every single time John says, wait, you have to put another layer of stairs. And I always forget, but this time I remembered. So, that's fantastic. Yeah, I changed, what did I change? I don't know, there was some setting I altered to get the stream quality. I think I don't know, my streaming software was sending, it was like, what is the word? It was, can't think of it now. Wow, this is really, it was putting a barrier on the amount of data that it was sending at any given point in time. Which is good for, I guess like the cost of Wi-Fi or something like that. But it makes, the stream quality suffers a little bit. So I turn that back up because, our bandwidth is not particularly gated or anything. So it's not like we're paying more for me to stream at regular stream settings or anything like that. So hopefully that makes the stream quality a little bit better. I think inherently stream quality is always going to be lesser than regular video quality, just because you just there's more there's more stuff going on at the same time, and it has to do it all live, so I get that. I do think it's cool that YouTube is actually like uploading my streams as they, there you go, that's the word, bitrate. YouTube is actually saving these streams and uploading them to the channel automatically, which is super cool. Because I was worried, well, I wasn't worried, but I was thinking that if I wanted to have streams and stuff on the channel, like the, you know, the ones that are already gone past, I would have to record them and upload them separately. But it turns out that YouTube does that automatically, which is super cool. You know, at some point, I do have, you know, personal copies of the videos. They get saved when I stream. So if I need to, I can always use those, you know, for like, I guess like stream highlight videos, if that's a thing. But just for watching the raw stream, you know, people who missed it can tune in and catch that just on the regular channel. It just automatically uploads after the stream is over. Just awesome. Like I said, extra minutes in my day. Never say no to that. Let's see. Okay. This is gonna have to come out again. Yeah, I mean, part of it, I mean, there's just a natural delay. I have, you know, like probably 100 hours of footage at this point. And it just takes time to sort through it and to pick out, you know, to coordinate it all into things that fit together thematically or chronologically, and then to edit it all into something that's watchable instead of just the raw footage of me placing things, and then to write scripts out and things like that. It's a whole process. But you know, I mean, if you're interested in helping out, I will never say no to assistance or anything like that. You know, I'm not one to turn down free help if I can get it. But yeah, I mean, it's completely up to you. If you have the free time and you want to help out, that would be awesome. I have to say, it really does get dark here underneath the tree. I don't know. I mean, I guess having the wall here is going to help, because we'll have torches and things on top of the wall. It'll keep lit up, but does get a little bit dark, you know. I mean, this is how bright it is with the lights turned on, you know. I'm not super worried about, honestly, to be honest, the actual video editing part of it is not super intensive. You know, that's something that I don't have too much issue with. The biggest thing, if you wanted to help out, the biggest thing you could probably do that would be helpful would be to help me determine, you know, like what kind of videos would be interesting that people would want to watch. What are topics that we want to explore? You know, helping me put together the thumbnail images and the video descriptions. It's all the little busy work that takes up a surprising amount of time. Anyone who's done these videos knows that it's, you know, there's a small portion of it that's editing the video itself, and trying to ferry those files back and forth between the two of us, especially given our geographical distance, is not great. Probably don't want to worry too much about that. But yeah, I mean, if you can help me come up with ideas for videos, or help me write scripts, or edit the thumbnail images that get attached, you know, and all that stuff, that's the best way that, you know, you can help out. Because, you know, I mean, or, you know, alternatively, I don't know. Honestly, just a lot of it's just the organizational stuff. Just getting things into a place where I can just kind of grab what I need and work with it. As opposed to, you know, I mean, whenever I make a new video, I spend, you know, just so much time on the little details. You know, it takes me time to write video descriptions, to write out, you know, I mean, I have to write out, for a lot of videos, I write out little scripts for what I'm going to say, stuff like that. Yeah, John and Bart also expressed interest in helping out with some of that stuff. So, you know, it could be a collaborative team effort. You know, that would be pretty cool, I think. You know, I mean, obviously I don't want anyone to feel like they have to help. Because obviously this is, you know, the YouTube channel is largely, you know, it's largely my undertaking. You know, and if you guys just want to build, then just build, you know. I'm thankful for that help in itself. But if you feel so inclined to assist with some of the video stuff, that would be also cool. But yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, like, I'd ask people to help me film, but to be honest, like, these video files are super huge, and I don't know of a good way that we can, you know, move them back and forth between us, right? Without it being just a huge hassle that takes hours and hours just to transfer things around. I'm sure there are ways of doing it, but they seem to be complicated. Yeah, I think that would be good. We can get kind of a supply chain going. What's the assembly line structure, right? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, I think that for the most part, I'm fairly happy with the rate of progress with the videos anyway. You know, they don't come out. I do about one a week. That's not too bad, especially just starting out. You know, a lot of it. Last week I wasn't able to get a video uploaded for the week. Oh, hey, look at that. What's up? I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, it's I don't know, stream's going later than I initially anticipated, maybe, but that's okay because now we've got everyone in here. Totally forgot what I was saying. Lost my train of thought. Got excited when I saw Mill Bill, but yeah. Yeah, no, I have no idea what I was saying. Something about videos, but I'd like to get, you know, to the point where I can do a couple of videos a week, maybe, something like that. But it is, you know, I also want to make sure that I can upload consistently. Consistency, I think, is really the key with all of this, you know. I don't want to make promises I can't keep, which is part of the reason that my streaming has been abrupt and unplanned currently, because I'm trying to figure out when during my week with all the stuff that I've got going on, when I think that I could stream regularly, you know, same time every week, without it being something that I forget to do or run out of time to do. You know, because I think that, it'd be nice if people were able to say, oh, Wednesdays are the day that Astro does some streaming. I know that reliably that I can tune in at 6 p.m. on Wednesday nights, and he'll be hanging out, making mistakes, and trying to fix them on camera, all that jazz. Currently, it's looking like, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but it's looking like the streaming schedule is probably going to be Wednesday evenings, and then either Saturday or Sunday during the afternoon for a slightly longer stream. Weekends are a good time for me. I don't have much going on. During the week, I've got other, I have like real life stuff I have to take care of, which, everyone's got real life stuff they got to take care of sometimes. But on the weekends, I've got some free time, so I think we'll try and set up some weekend streams. I think that would be nice. And it's nice because it gives me an opportunity to say hello to everyone. And just, I don't know, interact with people. That's my favorite part about this whole project, is getting to talk to people, honestly. I don't know, that was what really drew me to this whole, the whole Minecraft scene, is that everyone I've run into, who's, either on Reddit or, here on YouTube or on Instagram or anything, everyone is just so overwhelmingly positive. People are so kind. They say nice things, and people are always, happy to, I don't know, just to talk and chat and hang out. And I think that's really cool. Coming from playing StarCraft and League of Legends and competitive kinds of games like that, I can tell you firsthand that not all gaming communities are this wholesome. And that's really what, I'm a happy, go with the flow kind of dude. I like when people smile. I like making people laugh. I am not ultra competitive, I don't know. I don't feel like I need to be the best at anything or anything like that. And, so the competitive gaming scene is maybe not for me, but this is great. Just getting to talk with people and people coming in to say hello. And, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. Plus this game is super chill. It's, probably the most relaxing game I've ever played. I'm also a big fan of all the farming simulator games, Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley, all that kind of stuff. So this is it's sort of similar, I guess. Even more so if I were to play survival, which will happen eventually. That's eventually something that's going to happen. I don't know when, I don't know how, but at some point I will play some survival, and hopefully I'll do it on stream where you guys can watch me be terrible at it. Because, I've been playing Minecraft for about a year, and I have, of that year of, almost daily building stuff, I think I've played in survival mode for about 30 minutes, and I died like 10 times. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. But actually, I do think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's just not, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to be fun to watch, because I think that if I stream it, it's going to be, a 2-hour-long stream where an hour and a half of it is just you staring at the respawn screen because I've died again. So, I don't know. If you find that entertaining, then maybe it'll be a good time. But, I guess my hope at some point is that I'll be good enough at survival mode that I can actually start building some cool stuff like this in survival, creating a world there too. But it's goals. Oh, Hightail? Is that the one that's on Kickstarter that everyone's been talking about? I can't remember if that's the name of it. I pledged some sort of game that people were talking about was like the next Stardew Valley. and it looks like a lot of fun, but I cannot remember the name. You know, we're actually making pretty good progress on this wall. It's a pretty good stretch of blocks that we have to fill in. And honestly, I wasn't sure. I thought we'd get, I don't know, maybe halfway done with this little stretch of wall, and then it'd be like, oh, we're 3 hours into the stream and all you've done is half of this wall. But actually, you know, we've already done more than half of it. So we're already winning. Winning at Minecraft. Yeah, I don't know. Survival mode is super intimidating. Oh, hightail. Huh. I don't know. I'm sure. I don't know. It sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure you're the one who told me about it before. But I mean, yeah, I'm willing to try anything. Who was it? Someone on Reddit invited me to a beta test of another Minecraft clone. I don't remember who it was, and I don't remember what the game was called. I would have done it, but I kind of ran out of time. This project takes up so much of my free time as it is that it's honestly pretty difficult to find time for much else. But, you know, would be fun. Would be fun to do some of these other games. Yeah, sure. I'll check it out. Let's see. And in case anyone's wondering, these diorite blocks are where I'm placing them is more or less super random. They are just going, you know, I'm trying to space them somewhat evenly. You know, it doesn't always work out. These walls are at all sorts of very strange angles. But, you know, it's, hopefully no one will notice if they're not spaced super evenly. And, yeah, well, it's gonna look, hopefully it'll look nice when I'm all done. Who knows? I have high hopes, but I always have high hopes. Yeah, I gotta say, it's very relaxing, just placing some blocks, filling in this wall. And on the, you know, as a bonus to all that, this is gonna feel really great to have done and out of my hair, because this is something that I've been staring at and wondering when I'm gonna find the time to work on it for a very long time. So it is gonna, it's just, I don't know. I'm honestly like, that's the biggest thing I'm excited about with this whole wall project and the streaming and everything, is just not having to, being able to check it off the list. That is such a satisfying feeling. You know, I've got this big long list of things that I need to accomplish, and that list, it keeps getting longer, and I, you know, as hard as I try, it just doesn't, you know, I don't check things off the list as often as I'd like to. This is a great opportunity to check some of those things off the list. And it gives me more time to work on some of the other more interesting projects. You know, if I don't have to spend my time doing this. And it feels good, you know? It feels good to get things done. And, yeah. Very nice. After the stream, I'll probably hang out for a little bit. Although, you know, I mean, I'm coming up on 2 hours of wall building. I'll probably take a break. It's evening here, so I'm probably going to take a break and get some food. But I might get on later and do a little bit more work. Who knows? I'll let you know if I do. Okay, so we have completed, some of the baseline stuff. We got this nice, row of prismarine and polished diorite kind of put in around the top edge of this wall. Now comes the part that's a little bit more complicated. We got to do a little bit of this with these columns that stretch from the top to the bottom, and these little, I keep calling them crenulations, but I'm probably wrong about the name. Whatever they are, though, these little dangly doohickeys. That's probably worse than me just calling them crenulations, to be honest. Yeah, let's see. I guess we can start. Let's kind of do like this, huh? Yeah, we'll just space them out a little bit. Yeah, that's probably, actually, if you could move the church skeleton, that would probably be good. Not because it looks bad. I don't really care too much about that. But just because I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of terraforming and building stuff down in that area in the next couple of weeks or so. Here, I'll show you a little bit of what I've got in mind, since I'm easily distracted. And yeah. So this area down here, this is eventually going to be like a city, not a city, but like a little township and all that. And I want to connect it up. So I've got this big, we've got this big gate, the brass gate that leads into the clock yard. This is going to be a bridge. And I want to build some little towns down here. And part of that is probably going to go over there underneath the tree. I just want to, I don't want to actually build too much outside the city right now, because I do want to focus on finishing all the things up in Cloud Top, up in the top of the city, before we move down to Loam or outside the city, one thing at a time, right? But I would like to lay out at least a little bit where the towns are going to go. And some of that may involve some terraforming projects, dropping a lot of sand, and yeah, it probably would be a good idea to move the skeleton just a little bit. I don't know if you need to move it to Loam yet, because I don't know where in Loam it's going to go. Oh, there's going to be a lot of little towns, lots and lots of little ones. That's kind of the way these big cities kind of work out, at least in my view. What ends up happening a lot of the time is you have a big city that develops, and you have lots of these little outlying suburbs, kind of, that show up outside of the city for all the people who don't have the money or whatever to live in the city. So you end up with little suburbs. So there's probably going to be a number of those. This area is going to be fairly inhabited, and the towns and stuff will get more sparse as you get further and further from the city. But if you can't live in the city, then the next best place to live, at least in my opinion, would be near the city, because you have a lot of the benefits of the safety of being near something so official, while also not having to deal too much with the problems of big city life. So I think that would be a fairly common thing that people would do. But yeah, I don't know exactly how many little towns. Not too many, but I think they'll be, because there's more space out here, they'll be more spread out, and there'll definitely be a lot of farmland, a lot of farms. I want to fill these empty plains in some of these default Minecraft villages that have generated around here with just big open fields of produce and stuff that people, maybe the farmers, they have their little farm and they grow all sorts of crops, and then they take their crops and they cart them along this path up through the white corridor and into the city to sell them. to the city folk. I think it paints a nice picture of the countryside, stuff like that. But yeah, and yeah, if you want to move it down to loam, that sounds fantastic. Yeah, I really, a lot of this build, a lot of the stuff that I'm really interested in doing is, just, I don't know, making it feel lived in and making it feel like a real live city that's got real people that live in it, and they do all the things that real people do. I'm not to the point of, I'm not super concerned with it being ultra realistic or anything like that. But I do want it to feel like a place, that people would conceivably, inhabit, I guess. What is going on with these stairs? There it goes. Yeah, I want it to feel, like a place that people would actually live in. And I think part of that is going to be, making sure that we have these opportunities to put in farms and, kind of the simpler kinds of places. I see a lot of builds, and no, no disrespect for the people who do this stuff because they are amazing. But, there's a lot of people who don't focus as much on the lore of the world and on making the city a place that's alive, and that's totally fine. People build amazing stuff, and I really shouldn't speak ill of any of it. But I think for this project, especially given how much I love Dungeons and Dragons, and building worlds in general, I want this to feel like, a real place where every shop, is run by an actual person. There's some guy who lives in there and he has hopes and dreams and, things like that. And he does things the way he does because that's how his grandfather did it or whatever. It's fun making places that feel realistic. And it's kind of a little bit of a, I don't know. It's a fun exercise for me to imagine the kinds of people that would live in a city like this and how they would do the things that they do and how they would get around and how they would feel about the world they're living in and, the king who runs the city and everything. The people are really what make the city truly, truly interesting. Because people are just, I find people fascinating. Just the fact that, have you ever walked down the street and, just given thought to the fact that every single person you pass as you're walking has hopes and dreams and a whole lifetime of experiences, exactly, not exactly like your own, but, to the exact same capacity as yourself. And that's true of all, 7 billion people who live on this planet. And just, I don't know, it's interesting to me, that we live so much inside our own heads sometimes. Naturally, it's natural for people to be more interested in their own lives than in the lives of other people. You got to look out for number one, right? But it is interesting just to recognize just how many people there are and, the fact that no one does things, for no reason. The decisions that people make, are all, for the most part, unless you're like certifiably, have some problems or something going on in your brain. But for the most part, people make decisions based on, logic. They make decisions that they think, are the best decisions for them in that moment. And it's just, I don't know, it's just fascinating to me that that's something that we can even begin to replicate in a game like this, where we can talk about, oh, this guy, this is Absol the baker, and every first day of the month, Absol goes to the local church and he donates a basket of bread, because maybe, when he was a child, his maybe his parents died for some reason or something like that, and the church was there for him. They gave him food and gave him a place to live when he was a child, where no one else would do so. And just little interactions like that with the world around them, it just brings these people to life. I just think that's really cool. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just I'm a little bit of a romantic at heart. I'm definitely a little bit crazy about this stuff, but hey, if you're gonna be crazy about something, at least I'm not crazy about something bad, right? Maybe, like, oh man. So I used to be really into like Yu-Gi-Oh and all the collectible trading card games. I love that stuff. And I guess it's gotten worse recently, but there have always been issues with people who will like go to like Target or whatever store, or Walmart, and they'll just buy every single pack of trading cards in the entire store, and then there's none left for everyone else, and they go in on the day that everything gets restocked. It was just so frustrating, like trying to do any sort of collecting of cards and things, because there'd always be that one guy who comes in and buys $1,000 worth of merchandise on the day that gets put on the shelves before anyone else has a chance to get anything. And it was just, I don't know, it was always very upsetting to me. I don't remember where I was going with this, but it was very upsetting. But it's just I don't know, it's just, at least I'm not like that, right? That's where I was going with this. At least I'm not that guy who goes into Walmart, Friday morning at 7 a.m. and buys all of the Pokemon cards before anyone else can get any. But I digress. If anyone watching this is one of those people, I don't mean you any ill. I get it. But you would have made young me very sad. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We're almost to the end of this little pattern. Nope, that's the wrong one. Gotta do it with this block. Okay. Yeah, John was mentioning earlier today that he was a little concerned that, like, if we move things around, or that if things get jostled around with the whole cave update that's happening, that all this stuff that we've debug sticked would get all messed up. Honestly, I'm a little nervous about that too, because I have used debug sticks extensively all throughout this entire project. And yeah, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what I'd do if suddenly a bunch of the stuff that I debug sticked unsticked itself. Oh, that would be a sad day. That would be a sad day indeed. Let's see. Alright, we're going to finish this pattern, and I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to call the stream there for today, because I am getting awfully hungry, and if I was smart, I would have eaten before the stream started. But as you will, if you don't already know, you will soon find out, I do not always make the most intelligent decisions. And I get easily excited about small things. So I was very excited to do some streaming today, and I neglected to take care of my own personal health and all that. So that is its own kind of problem. But yeah, I think that's some good progress for today. I'm very glad that you guys were all able to come out and hang out and see all this stuff happen. You know, I'm glad that people were able to catch the end of the stream or catch the beginning of the stream and everything in between. I really appreciate everyone's support. You know, the fact that people like you guys exist and people who come and tune in and watch these things, that makes the whole streaming experience worth it. You know, and I was a little bit concerned when I started doing all of this streaming stuff that I was not going to have a good time. But, you know, you guys have really made it super, super fun. And I cannot thank you enough for it. So thank you, everyone, for all of your support. And, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to stream again sometime this weekend. I'm thinking Saturday, probably Saturday afternoon. I did a stream last Saturday, and that felt like a good time for me to go through and, you know, do some work. I think Sundays, you know, it's a day when I kind of have to get ready for the coming week. So I think Saturday's a good day. No promises, but I think Saturday afternoon probably going to be a good time. So I hope to see you all there. And yeah, if you're new to this channel and everything, check out some of the videos. They're all very fun, I promise. I am an extremely entertaining person, as you can probably tell if you've watched, you know, more than a couple minutes of this stream. Yeah, come check us out. We're on Instagram also at AstrophaGMC. You can check us out there. Lots of beautiful pictures. I am a huge fan of taking beautiful panorama shots with shaders on and all of that. So I'm glad that you enjoyed watching. You know, I mean, I don't know. It means a lot to me, and I'm very thankful for people like you, Millbill. You are the MVP. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up, go find some grub. But I hope you have a good night, and I'll catch you guys later.